Conversations with Esther. This is a space where we talk about matters, work environment, jobs, careers, anything around this area. My name is Stephanie Ayeta, and today we have a very interesting topic for you. What is leadership? What is good leadership? We are having a specific highlight on fear versus respect, and for that we have Esther Katiba, a professional in this area, to help us with this conversation. Thank you, Esther, for having us in your space.
Thank you, Stephanie.
So let's talk about leadership. What is good leadership?
Good leadership is being able to nurture, to mentor, to raise other people, to identify successors as well. And I believe that it's interesting that people never understand when I say when I get into an organization, the first thing I want to look for is my successor.
Your successor?
Yes.
Why?
Interesting, because I also would not want to leave the vacuum, and I want to lead knowing that somebody will take over after me. And I think that's what leaders sometimes don't think about. You need to think about the person that will take over from you, or the person that you're going to focus on and mentor to take your role. I know nobody wants to hear that, because you think you're going to be there forever. It doesn't happen. You will not be in the organization that you're in forever, but you would want to raise someone that takes over after you.
Okay, so it's about nurturing.
Yes, it is.
All right, so what makes a bad leadership?
People that don't want to raise others, and you want to push people down, you want to demotivate people, you don't recognize the performance of other people, you don't recognize their talents, you don't align them with their talents. I think a lot around that, and you do not empower people to bring out the best in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our special focus today on fear, leadership, or through fear and leadership, and from respect. We want to compare those two.
Yes.
So what does leadership with fear bring about?
I will say fear is instilled, respect is earned.
So that's the difference.
That's a big difference, because you don't have to come and tell me to respect you. I will watch what you do, I will follow you, and I want to see consistency as a leader. I want to see the impact, I want to see the value that you add, I want to see so many things around that. So for me, fear is instilled. It's just the way you behave, it's how you treat your people, it's how you push them in and out, and so many things. So you instill fear in people. Even the shouting that we talked about previously, it's a shouting, it's looking down on other people. Really, you want to instill fear and make sure that I don't rise above you. But for respect, you don't even work very hard for it. I don't know why people choose fear, because fear actually drains you as a leader. You have to work to make people fear you. You do so many things. But for respect, just be yourself. Just have an impact. Just have an influence on people. Just be considerate and think about them. Find out how they are doing. It's very easy. I mean, it's a peaceful process.
So how does the leader who leads by fear, how does he go about his business? How does it look like?
The same people that we talk about that keep shouting at people, so and I will 100 times say shouting doesn't work. Those that want it by fear is they want you to go into their office coiled. I mean, people shout at you. They don't even give you the space to talk. They dictate everything in the meeting. They're dictating what you have to do. You cannot question what they say, and you can see, sometimes your juniors see that something is wrong, and they say the direction that you're taking is not good for the business, but because you've instilled fear and you don't give them the space to speak, even when you walk, let me tell you, when a leader walks into an organization, even when you're a guest at the reception, you can tell. You can tell. That's why you hear people saying, and that must be the boss, because of the way they walk and the way they treat people. Some will not even say hi to you, and you're thinking, for heaven's sake, greetings. For heaven, I mean, it's free. It creates a very good relationship if you walk in as a leader and say hi to everybody in the company. If you're able to smile and even find out how are you doing, how is the day and everything. Some will just walk and you're thinking, wow. Even as a guest, you're thinking, that must be your boss who walked in. And people will say yes. Okay. Because people think that fear gets them respect or gets them to where they should be, you know, or it finds or secures their space. It doesn't.
So
People just withdraw. It makes people withdraw from you completely. Yes, they don't want to be near you. You've seen leaders who call for a bash and everyone is thinking, even if it's free, no thanks.
I would rather stay at home.
Let me stay alone. I mean, don't be fake, you know. Don't smile. Don't buy me a drink. Don't buy me whatever it is. I just can't stay near you. I mean, it's fear. It's not even a relationship. There's no relationship. And workspaces should, not the romantic relationship, but there should be a relationship between you and your colleagues in the workspace where they even care and ask how you're doing and even give you a gift.
They should be excited that you're back after a long time, not sad when you come to the office.
Have you seen leaders that when you hear that your boss is unwell, you're thinking, God forgive me, but thank you.
It's a holiday.
It's so bad. It's so bad. They want to track you. They even want to track where you are. They're thinking, does he come on Mondays? Does he come on Tuesdays? Does he come? The day that you're not in, the energy is so good until you come back.
Wow.
And employees perform and outperform themselves when you're not in. It tells you a lot. Tells you a lot. So it's a relationship.
So what does fear do now to the employees in terms of their performance and everything, even in the personal health?
Esteem-wise, I think it pushes down the esteem of the employees because they cannot even speak. They can't tell you what is good and what is bad. They can't even give you the ideas. Employees have very good ideas, by the way. Juniors have excellent ideas. They're on the ground. They know what works and what doesn't work. But if you're that kind of a leader that cannot be approached, people can't even talk to you. They can't give you an idea because their ideas are in your head, foolish ideas. Then they will watch the business come down. They'll watch it come down. They will know that when we move in this direction, we are burning. But if they tell you and you keep shouting at them and you don't listen, you are the super person. You know everything. They will say, then let's go their way. Let it fail. But it also affects their esteem. Mentally, by the way, it's not a very good thing when you're waking up, Stephanie, you wake up in the morning and you hate going to work. Yeah. Now, you will see people, I've heard of people that have told me, I hate going to work. I mean, it just can't. That's why you hear people saying they hate Mondays. Why? I mean, you just don't want to go to work. It's not the place that you want to be. But if your workspace is fun, you don't have to push people. Yes. Now look at people who work up to 5 or 4 or 5. 5 on the dot. 5 on the dot, they're out. And bosses keep saying, no, you're leaving at this time, you're leaving so fast. Why is it at 5 you're all at the door? Ask yourself why at 5 they want to run away. They don't want to stay with you one more minute. Yeah. It's because the environment is not good. Yeah, there are places where the environment is so good you don't even realize you're there late in the evening and you're saying, oh no, I have to finish this. The rest, it gets toxic. They're like, no thanks. These guys don't care about me, so I shouldn't also care about them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Wow. And what about their mental health? Because we have seen so many cases of people dying by suicide. Yeah. In even their workplaces, we know of so many instances. People have thrown themselves outside the window in their workplace, in their office.
Yeah, because leaders don't get to, you see, you hire me and your interest is just in what I give. You're not interested in my other life. And a person is whole with their family, with their personal issues and everything. So if an organization doesn't take care of my other life, because that's why organizations give you medical cover. And I've had people say, if not for the salary, I'll be in this place for medical cover, so that I know that my family is at peace. I know that even if something happens at work, at home, I can still continue with this. And employees need to have the conversations about mental wellness completely. I have seen people break down because of the workload. People break down completely because of the toxicity. The pressure is too high. You're pushing people too far. I mean, just like a machine, Stephanie. You can only push your car too far, you know, and it will break down. So if you don't even allow your people to just have a break, if you don't allow them to take leave, if you don't, and it is illegal, by the way. Employees need to know that they are entitled to leave, annual leave. And if anything needs to change on that, there has to be a consensus between the employer and the employee. So it's because employees also don't understand what they are entitled to, and maybe those are different conversations. But allow your employees to take their leave. Because bosses do take their leaves. So they will come in at any time. But for you, 4 a.m. you're up. And you will leave and go at 5. Dare you leave before 5?
And you know, the workplace is where most people spend their time.
Yeah.
So you need that place to have peace.
It has to be peaceful. It has to be peaceful. It has to be fun. You should be able to talk to someone. You can imagine the tension in the workplace where you can't talk. And it's unfortunate, things are happening now. Because of the toxicity and the things happening in the workplace, people don't even talk to each other sometimes because I can't trust you. You know, I don't know what you will go and say to the boss because you're looking for favors. So you will go and throw me under the bus. You see those common phrases of throwing others under the bus. Yes.
Goes back to bootlicking because now because of the sort of work environment, the atmosphere that is in that organization.
Yes.
So even colleagues are against each other.
Yes, they are. They are. You think we are friends until I throw you under the bus. You go into a meeting and someone says something, you're thinking, what? What was that meant to do, you know? And everyone looks at you and knows you're done.
Wow.
You know, because you don't have to, you don't win by throwing me under the bus. You don't win. And I think, or I have been in places where someone is going to make a presentation in a meeting, and the presentation maybe it touches your department. But there's something that you failed in as a department, but the person will keep that presentation as a secret until they put it up and set you up. So you're thinking, this is something we would have dealt with. You prepared this presentation before this meeting. Why didn't you come and ask me, Esther, can we correct this so that we report a finished assignment? But you want to go and just put it up and set me up and make me look like I'm not doing my work. So even in the colleagues are setting each other up really in the organization, and it gives the rest of the colleagues a very hard time mentally. People go home stressed. I've seen there's a gentleman that once told me, you know, madam, I was going home and 2-3 times I was almost knocked down by a vehicle, and I realized that this guy is going through a hard time. So I had a conversation with the person, and it happened to be marital issues, and I said, now what I need you to do is go apply for leave now and tell your boss, your line manager, that the HR has allowed you to go on leave, because the next 3-4 times now it's going to be an accident. And he went and took leave, and I told him, go home, sort your issues with your spouse, take 2 weeks, because he had the leave days, take the 2 weeks and then come back. He came back, and the only thing he would tell me on the corridors is,
wow,
like my wife and I, we are doing good. We are doing good. And I love that. I love that.
Why is this important for the employer to be that kind to the employee, you know, to care about their needs? What does that do?
Because we're human beings. I think people forget that when we get to the workspace, you convert people into machines and you don't care about them. It's like you only want to service them by paying the salary and then pushing them again. People have a personal life. When people come to work, they have so many things in their minds. They have so many things they're carrying, their children, their spouses, their parents. I mean, even their own health. Their own health. There was one time I think we were doing an interview and someone said, you know, the lady that you want to hire is okay. However, I know she has a condition that keeps her out of work. And I made sure that she came for the interview. And when she came for the interview, I personally asked, anything that we need to know? And she said, yes, I have cancer, and once in a while I will need a break. I said, we will hire you. Wow. And we did. And she performed very well. She performed very well. When she needed to go to the hospital, she needs to go to, because people forget that could be you. That could be you, and nobody chooses to be sick, or nobody chooses to have issues. If someone has issues with their families, I mean, how long does it take, Stephanie? I will give you 30 minutes or maybe 1 hour or so. Someone can call and say, can I come in 2 hours late because my child is not feeling well, and you're there pushing the person to get to work and leave a sick baby in the house. Does that make you feel good? It doesn't. That person will not even be working. So let them sort the issue and then come and give you the best that they can, because that says that you care as an employer. Yeah.
Most productivity.
Yes, you get the best out of them.
All right. So let's talk about now the leader that has earned respect in the organization. What does that do, and what does the picture of that leader look like?
It's the best picture that you can have, and I love talking about this, because if people respect you, honestly, number one, they will not even set you up. They will support you. They'll make sure that you succeed as a leader. They will not really cover you, but they're there to support and make sure that nothing in your hands will fail as a leader. So that confidence that people have in you, because they know you care, they respect you, and respect doesn't have just to be even in just performing your duties, your character as well. And I think we need to talk about this pretty much, because if a leader earns that respect in the way they carry themselves, the way they behave, the way they relate with each other. Unfortunately, a leader who is dating people in the office and doing weird things, you have no respect there. And it looks like it's the in thing. Unfortunately, it's not. You need to earn your respect in all areas, in the way you conduct business with integrity, in the way you carry yourself with integrity, in the way you talk to people, and with respect. Doesn't matter what level of people you're talking to, you need to respect the people that you're talking to. When you walk around and it's juniors, they know that you can listen to them without looking down on them. So that way you earn that respect, and they will support you. I'm telling you, things will flow. You won't struggle as a leader. Yeah. You will just need to make a phone call or even interact with someone, and they will tell you, no, you know what, can we do this? Can we try this? And people have ideas. The ideas may not be the best ideas, but there's something always. And it also tells me that someone is thinking about the business and thinking about you. And they will even call you. You've seen people calling you and saying, oh, it's your birthday, congratulations, or happy birthday, or something as a leader. Others, when they don't like you, even commenting, even if you post in the company group, people go silent. You're thinking, she can just go do her birthdays on her own. We don't care about the birthdays. But you find the others reaching out even to check, are you fine? We've not seen you for some days. Are you okay? You know? Yeah.
What about that leader now? That's not fearful, very calm, shouting in the office, has earned his respect, yes, but still he has some character issues in terms of, sexual relations with some of the staff for them to gain favors. So Esther, you've explained very well about this leader that leads with fear and this one that has earned respect. And so what about that leader that doesn't come shouting in the office, but practices sexual harassment in a subtle way, just giving favors in turn or for the employee to give them something?
What respect is there? There's no respect. You can't have respect with sexual harassment. I mean, even the people that you sleep with, maybe it's just because of fear and the money that is there. And I have heard of companies where a spouse actually went to attack a leader who was sexually harassing the wife. And they had to cover it up, and almost the organization knew that it was going to affect the entire brand if it goes out, because it's a wrong thing to do. So
but what about the subtle ones?
Who respects you? Who are we talking about? Maybe the people that will respect you are the people that may not know about it. I don't think anyone wants to be harassed. In itself, the word is harassment. So it doesn't make anyone comfortable unless you're doing it out of the office and very silent. And mostly, to be honest, Stephanie, the people that even sleep with their bosses or anything to keep the job, finally will lose it. You lose the job. You will lose that job eventually. You can't sustain it. You only sustain your job out of being competent and performing your duties. So what is all this other? It means then that you're not competent and you need to keep yourself at work with other things, which there's no respect in sexually harassing. I mean, I would be a bad boss to say that it works. It doesn't work and it will never work. And for those that are doing it, that man does not respect you, or that woman does not respect you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which is the right way to go with this?
For me, clearly just perform your duties. I think when you get into an organization, Stephanie, you get in there because you're competent.
Yeah.
So then can your competence keep you in the job?
Okay.
Don't get too, I think people need to know their limits. They need to draw the line between their relationships and their work and everything around them. Draw your line, do your work, deliver what you need to, pack your bags and go home. People will respect you, and also let people know who you are. When I get into an organization, I'm very candid. This is me. If you want corrupt deals, look for somebody else. If you're looking for, and I would joke in very many other places I've worked, and I would say, what is this that you're telling me people are harassing you sexually? Let them come and try it on me. And everyone's like, who will try on you? You see, it's
already established
yourself.
yourself.
I think it's a way you also go in. It's just like a relationship. When you get into a relationship, just let the partner know who you are and what you stand for, what you take and what you don't take. So then let's just have a meeting point and know that I don't take this and this I can take. So in the job space, they weigh you. I'm telling you, your colleagues and your bosses will weigh you. They'll throw something at you, and if you take it, they'll be like, no. If you throw that to Stephanie, she will take it. If you throw that to Esther, it won't work.
Okay.
So the first few months in the workplace, usually people are weighing you. Who is she? What does she stand for? What does she do? What can she take and what can she take? You know, I was in a space one time, the start of my career, and I used to have a boss who would come and sit on the table. You know, just sit on the table next to me. I looked at the boss and I said, excuse me, sir, there's a seat right behind you. Please take the seat.
All right.
Yeah.
So they know where you stand.
Yes, just take the seat. You don't have to sit on the table next to me. Just sit on the seat. So once, twice, and he knew this is not working. And in the evening, I would say, go say hi to your wife and children.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's
you
it.
put them in their place.
Yeah, in their place. That's
Okay.
it. So it's not that it will not happen. People would try it. And when they see you're not that kind of a person, then they will pull away. But if they see you entertain it and you want him to sit close to you or you want her to sit close to you and you're enjoying that, then they will continue. They will move to the next step. I just say it simply, please take the seat. I think
That's it.
that's why we have seats in the office, unfortunately. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just be stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
you're saying that the employees also have a role to play in this?
Yes, they do. They
maintain the
entertain it.
integrity?
You entertain it, Stephanie. You can't tell me that your boss, unless your boss rapes you, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
Yeah, but you cannot be going for coffee, you're going out, you're meeting anywhere, you're actually you're sending each other messages, you're sending each other photos, you have different things. And it ends there. My friend, it started somewhere. You watered it, it's now grown, it's matured to whatever it is. So don't blame people that, oh, I didn't know how this happened. You didn't know, Trini? Now that it's gone to that end, and when they use, they dump.
Okay.
Yeah, there will always be that
The
pretty employee that comes
The
on
fate
board
is
later.
the same.
Yes, that's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. To conclude this conversation, what do you have to say about everything in summary?
I will say that leaders have to earn their respect. Yes, the employee sits in a place where sometimes they are vulnerable and they want to keep their job. And by saying yes and yes and yes, the leader begins to get ground and begin to abuse the power. But the leaders need to know that it is respect that keeps you in your job. And employees as well, it is the respect that keeps you in your job. So fear doesn't work. Don't instill fear. Earn your respect and move on.
Wow, amazing. What a great place to conclude. conclude this. Fear doesn't take you anywhere. Respect keeps you in your job, and as an employee, you have a role in that organization to ensure that you do not fall prey to whatever intimidation you get from the bosses. This has been Conversations with Esther. Remember, you can interact with us in our social media handles. That is at Conversations with Esther on YouTube and Instagram. On LinkedIn, you can get her at Esther Katiba. Thank you for tuning in. We have been shooting right here at H&S Serena Hotel. My name is Stephanie. Bye-bye.